Adjourn.
Go ahead.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I apologize, commissioners. That can't come forward.
There's going to be no formal actions will be taken during the briefing. We're just going to be here to receive information and make discussions and stuff, but nothing else.
No public.
And no public comment. There's no need for it. All right. Go to the first part of it, which is the port priorities. Okay, ports regular business administrative improvement. So the Allyn Waterfront user fee policy draft. Has everybody gotten a chance to look at that?
Yes. We did I asked some questions about if Toby. Like two, full day, if hasn't changed and that's current right now is at $13.50 a day.
Correct, that is the current rate.
One of my questions was if we had a lot of use at that day, is that usually half days?
Yes, we see more half days than full days.
Okay. So, one of the things that I wanted to know, not just me, but probably everybody was, we have community organizations. And this is for the meeting room, but then also, talk about some of the community uses. Like the $300 per day. You want to address some of that, Travis?
Sure, well, the port has to make sure that it's, being reimbursed for any costs that associated with the use of its facilities. But community organization, of course, we've got non-for-profits that, cash strapped just like we are.
Mm-hmm.
And, they have a desire to use the gazebo for larger gathering events for the community. And if we can find a way that provides everyone the same criteria for being able to qualify that type of rate, then it's something the port could be eligible to offer.
Okay. And we currently do not have that kind of criteria in here. Well, we kind of do, but not.
Not written into a policy.
Okay.
This is, meant to help kind of clean up some of those deficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
And also put the port in the best position it can to see its facilities used by a greater number of organizations and private parties as well.
So the biggest criteria that is necessary for us to be protected is insurance?
Well, that's one.
Okay.
Well, the biggest angle is that there is a uniform process for determining who is eligible for those different rates.
Do you have a suggested format yet?
You wrote it in here, didn't you?
So, part of it is this policy that's written up, but the other part of it is creating a standardized checklist that determines eligibility.
Okay, yeah,
And that's something that we'll be continuing to work on.
okay, excellent.
And, it needs to define, the public purpose served, the category of user, the consideration, received by the port, direct cost recovery for, a reciprocal benefit. And the basis for determining that the action is consistent with applicable laws, which, most of these are pretty no-brainers.
Yeah,
But, the checklist needs to be set up so that no one can say they weren't eligible. I think that's another piece of the component that will be setting up in another exhibit
okay,
to the actual, this will be, put forth to the commission in a resolution.
okay.
How many people a year currently rent a gazebo
don't have
all
a
day,
specific-
all day long.
Specific number right now, but it's a disproportionately less than rented for half days.
I guess the reason why I was asking, cause it's during the, the upcoming season, summer season and stuff is, $1,350 a day. I was wondering, and it's half day, it's 750. If we lowered that, people might be, oh, okay, we'll run it for the full day and instead, and pay that little bit extra.
Yeah, instead of just half, cause it's
Instead-
kind of just half, a little bit more than half.
Half. But we have half down is what, 5 hours?
Yeah, 750.
That's, yeah, that's a pretty good amount of time. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
true.
it's usually, you take 8 hours, but I guess during the summer months,
So do we have very many people renting it? I mean, let me ask this, rather than the cost. Do you find that many people want to stay more than 5 hours?
No, the people that are getting the 5 hours, they don't intend to stay for a whole day.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
Sure.
not the issue.
A lot of it's like they'll have their wedding at the church and then they need a place
Reception
where they
down
wanna
here.
eat.
okay, gotcha.
Or, anniversary parties, birthday parties, or other. Like big celebrations.
Okay,
Yeah, we found that the majority of the renters just don't feel that their event's gonna go anywhere. And now if it's like a wedding that is centralized and just here, they typically rent the whole thing.
sure. And they're generally their budget can accommodate that
Correct,
anyway,
right.
so. Okay,
okay, yeah, what I was asking, cause I wanted to make sure.
We
that-
did lower the cost back in 24 from
Mhm.
1,500 to 1,350.
yeah,
Okay, that's right, we did, didn't we? And are we getting more people?
No, we're probably getting about the same amount of people.
We're,
It hasn't really fluctuated as more.
we're at the start of our rental season. I've had 3 people call and say, put me in the calendar, but nobody has confirmed reservations yet. So, that makes, within the past week.
sure, okay.
Okay, yeah, my whole thing is, there's that breaking point where we can get the most money without.
Do we
Chasing
currently,
away.
do we require a deposit for calendar bookings?
I require half of that.
Okay. And then is that fully refundable? Or,
Yeah, and that's something else that needs to be addressed. I think that
Fully refundable fees.
there needs to not be a refundable portion at some point.
I would agree, you guys, we are spending your guys' time to book bills, and I think a portion of the down payment or the deposit should stick with the port for your guys' time.
10%.
Would it, I mean, I'm sure Travis and Christine will come up with a number, but yeah, something along those lines, flat fee, hey. If it's half down $600, it's $75 deposit, for our time. Cause it's not a 5-minute thing for them booking and.
Yeah,
making sure
for
it's clear,
sure.
Yeah, cause, we give, a lot of times you have to. Have somebody, Don has to pressure wash it and.
I think there are, this is off the top of my head, but usually it's 25%.
Oh, is it that much?
I think
Okay,
so. I may be incorrect, but I know any place that I've rented or reserved, it's pretty healthy. It's not
Yeah.
just a little hop, skip and a jump and like, oh, well.
yeah, and the other thing you do is, up to a certain point, you get your money back, but if it's
True.
within.
48 hours.
72 hours or.
Yeah, true.
Or a week or whatever, then.
Yeah,
Bring it how we wanna
Yeah.
work it, then. They have to pay that.
I would
Is-
say at least a week, cause. Sometimes we can miss opportunities if we don't let them cancel within, if they don't cancel within a certain amount of time.
true.
That is
The
true.
greater amount of people who have reserved time at
Uh-huh.
gazebo on months in advance.
Sure.
And the issue is that when you reserve months in advance for the summer season, that's when everybody else is trying to find their date and time.
Right.
So I would suggest to the board that the amount be, if we're looking at a 25%, then that's a starting point for the complete non-refundable amount.
Right.
So we don't do the half down scenario, you do 25% non-refundable deposit when you make your booking.
Mhm,
That way you know what you're locked into
mhm,
for. Because then we can lose business depending on those key dates.
correct,
Because the key dates are June, July and August. And, we lose a weekend with Allen days.
Yeah.
Every year, so.
Well, yeah, but
I
that.
don't know how many times I've been taking phone calls and they've asked for Allen days.
oh,
Date, that one's booked up. That's it's literally the middle of
right,
July, so. No, I will work on providing that for the next iteration of calls.
Awesome.
Okay,
I have no more questions.
Nor do I.
no, pretty well covers all that. You already asked about how many tables we have and stuff, right?
Yeah, and I saw it in the back.
Yeah, and
Was it?
I might remind the board that,
Oh, that's all, okay.
I'm not sure when those tables and chairs were purchased, but,
Some of them are,
I think they're over 20 years old.
okay,
So, at some point, I mean, we've probably got dozen chairs that are just not usable
No,
because of just time and wear and tear.
do we need to replace them?
No, we had over 100 anyway, so
Okay.
we have that 100 amount still. But they are, there's not much that can be done to spruce them up, so to speak,
Mm-hmm,
so. At some point in somewhere in the future, I mean,
Can they be painted?
they're
If they're
plastic,
rusted or anything?
I think they're plastic,
yeah,
Oh, they.
well, they have metal frames.
They're my friend.
Yeah, there's a couple of them right here.
yeah, plastic and,
They have done really well.
Those are parts. Those aren't that bad.
well, that's
well,
probably
those
some
are
of
the
the good ones.
right?
Yeah, I just trying to figure out a way to, yeah. But yeah, eventually we do need to,
But I think that that's something that should be just thought of as a, something that is figured on savings in our, capital monies for improvements.
I agree.
Does Allen Community Association have their own chairs or do they rent from
No,
us?
the typical practice has been that, our association with them, we just let them use them.
Okay,
And that's where going back to a facility use agreement, we're going to have to set those guidelines.
sure,
And, by creating either license agreements with these agencies, which are used to, allow use of the facilities. And adjustments to the actual policy.
yeah, I would think that a license agreement would be good because a lot of the members come and help maintain this park.
And that's the preferred mode. That's,
Yeah.
I've actually worked on a draft.
Oh, that's good. I know with Department of Natural Resource, this is a long time standing thing, but with the focus group, if you had events, then you needed to have so many hours of volunteer hours to be able to qualify to hold your place for an event. So that might be something that we could do.
In fact, over the weekend, there was many members of the Allyn Community Association and the Evergreen Garden Club that came and redid the planter box.
Perfect.
The building and.
That's
did some
wonderful.
Stuff around the property
Yeah,
and, getting everyone on push towards that license agreement is the key for the.
yeah, I would think so. I think that would be the most effective, efficient.
Yep, water system development administration, the consolidation progress.
Yeah, so as you know, we've been delayed on our some of our materials that are pretty important to continue the project. They've given us a new projected ship date of April 28th.
Which is tomorrow.
Correct. So I will keep in contact with the contractor to find out if that is indeed shipped. So yeah, a lot of all the underground work near the water, the well house is done. So they are now at a point where they need these components to begin the inside the well house, installation of the piping and the components. But I did meet today with a dive contractor for extending the overflow on the well tank.
Oh, okay, raising that up, yeah, so we were talking about that.
We're all set up on that. I've arranged for it to pass through with our general contractor so that we don't have to go through an individual red tape of running through L&I requirements and all that project.
Are we running it through what the?
Our general contractor.
Okay, are we gonna, is like our water district board that we set up, are they gonna discuss it at all? What do they think about?
Oh, it's part of already the approved plan for the project. Just
Okay.
needed to be added in.
Okay, good, good.
We cannot do a project completion report with the Department of Health
Until it's done.
until that part of it's done as well. So
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of a no-brainer then, okay.
Are you gonna have something next meeting to vote on for this $3,300 to fix the 6 remaining boxes?
no, let's wait till we get there. We're still in consolidation.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't have anything more than that for the consolidation project update.
Yeah, this says it's gonna be shipping date, not arrival date,
Not
shipping date.
Okay.
So we won't leave until tomorrow, it'll take what, 2-3 days to get
Yeah,
here?
and that's why projected's in the quotation marks, because the email exchanges that I was forwarded on kind of explained that they thought it was shipping on the eighth or on the 8th of April. And it was a projected shipping date and they didn't ship it on the 8th of April, so,
And they still haven't,
right.
okay, got it. So. And
Originally,
that's,
the lead time on that component was 10 to 12 weeks. So that still puts it in that 10 to 12 weeks window.
so at best, we're looking at maybe them restarting the work then next week, at best.
At best, happens.
All right,
I have no other questions in regard to that.
let's see, Wade and Blackwell valve can repair.
Commissioner Curtin was on site for that repair.
Thank you for volunteering and putting in your time. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm sure Commissioner Curtin can attest to the fact that that valve can was broken and destroyed.
Yes.
You know how it got damaged?
No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
It looks like
There's-
just something ran over it and it crushed it
It does
down.
appear that a piece of it was missing,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. Which would indicate it might have been bulk damage. Thankfully, we had one in inventory, we got it all ready to go and we posted it.
If we didn't have one of those in inventory, how much would it cost? And
For $400, $300, what was the
Well,
not cheap.
would it be worthwhile to have another replacement just in case?
No,
No.
no, we may have to, there's another one that needs to be raised.
It's right across the road.
Across the same
Yeah.
intersection, but, and we don't see any preliminary damage to that, but that'll also have to be dug up so that it can actually be readjusted to the right height. It is an adjustable one.
Right,
And we tried to do the adjustable thing on the other one, or we looked at it to do the adjustable thing, but determined it was broken, so we couldn't adjust it. The other one doesn't have any sign of being broken. So,
all right, am I gonna need me to dig that one
yeah,
up too?
that'll be another one of those, when you can schedule time to bring the machine out. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it shouldn't,
Probably save half the time.
yeah, or more, it didn't take me long with the tractor,
No.
but with it,
Yeah, man.
but digging that by hand,
But,
do you have a backhoe?
Mhm.
Do you have a backhoe?
yeah,
Oh,
a
cool.
small tractor, but yeah.
That's great.
the idea there would be to, so that we can find another use for the time of the machine here to coordinate with that repair. So it's not just coming out for that one thing. So,
And it's not that far for me to drive.
well,
Cause we also,
you could see me trying to add more work to your work.
yeah. Yeah, I can. But we also still need to do the potholes out at North Shore as well.
Correct.
I haven't done those yet.
Maybe coordinate with maintenance to do that repair in the morning, and then you can go out and do the potholes at the newsroom. But we also have to have another truckload of material.
Yeah, cause we went through the whole, or almost all of
And
it.
I'll do another evaluation on how much material is necessary. It might be best to just do what we did last year and get a whole truckload.
It's usually cheaper that way.
But, you know, there's always the fact that it is open and available to the public, so, you know.
Well, that's, the
So
driveways,
we don't have the gravel gated, my point.
yeah, we can put it on that far corner that's
Yeah.
blocked off, right?
No, it's not blocked off. Anybody can go in there and grab gravel.
Okay, we used to have a,
That's only during the winter. Those
yeah,
cables come down on, basically here in April, and they don't go back up until October first.
and by then, somebody can,
Because the summer season, we have a lot of use of the overflow.
okay. Yep, so let's evaluate what we need versus what we get, so it doesn't just disappear. Alright, now the Sullivan, street meter assembly repairs.
Okay, and I believe Commissioner Treadway had a question there.
Yeah, for the 6 service boxes on the block, it says it's $3,300 to fix them all instead of trying to address it during an emergency. Next meeting, on that regular meeting, are you gonna put that up?
No, so what, because everything runs off a budget.
Sure.
Having these costs that we have no clue whether we'll be reimbursed for from the contractor. For that work on the 1,900 and 1,400 respectively,
Okay,
and it cuts into our repair budget for the year.
okay,
So, until I know that we've made it through the year on this budget cycle where we didn't need any additional money for it out of the blue repair, that's gonna have to wait until the November, December timeframe before we, commit to it.
Is there, have you billed the contractor yet?
I'm getting it together now.
Okay, and cause if we get the money from them, we
And-
can
and-
turn around and just use that
and-
money
and
to do the next one.
And that will all, unfortunately, our, relationship with that contractor isn't, it's in litigation at this point, so it all has to go through.
Cause my whole thing is, if we can get, it's better to get this fixed. Sooner than one at a time where it's gonna cost us,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
3 times this.
And I would I'd very much like to just tell the contractor, come in and get it done. But we definitely have to watch the money that we have available for, those out of the blue, repairs to pop up on us. Part of that billing was another $500 from our, water management company for being on site to, evaluate and do pass-through testing on the water for it was also back up.
Okay, we have to do that with each one of them,
Well, with both. Well, it was 500.
but they'll be there for the next one. When they do it all at one time.
Yes, so if we did it all at one time, we would have to have our water district management company come back out and bill us another approximately $500 for pass-through testing,
Okay.
depending on how long we have to be there.
Yeah, and now that they know what they're working, cause I was there for the first one on the 8th. Now they know a little more what exactly they're dealing with too.
Yeah,
Which-
but it's still, I mean,
Didn't,
it's all about being on site for that testing. Make sure
Right.
the test, the pass through, so, one of the advantages that the port would have to having a level 1 water distribution manager of their own. Rather than having a outside company doing that for them. We would only have to pay port employee wages.
Versus
that $500 bill would have cost in the port time less than $200. In actual port employee rate.
But we'd have to hire another employee.
No, I mean, it would be one of the employees that are currently on staff would be that licensing.
Like Brad, I mean, Brandon.
Yeah, well, it
Brandon.
does, yeah, it could be anybody on the staff. It could be me, it could be Brandon, it could be a commissioner, you know, it.
That's
actually
true.
looked
That'd
at-
be the cheapest way to do
I
it.
looked at what it takes to become the water distribution manager, and it's basically, for someone with at least my level of knowledge, it's a 3-day course and taking the test. So it's possible that I'm looking into just doing it myself. Because then the entire water system could be ran through that license. And then we would be doing our own testing, we would be doing all of the other things that we pay, an outside company $400+ a month plus the pass-through test. And then it's the emergency situations where we have to pay the $85 an hour to have them come out, or like $100 some odd dollars for outside normal business out. Is where the port makes its savings.
Do you need authorization to take that,
No.
class?
No, it's, I've looked into
Just
it.
have time.
There's some options next month, but they're in Wenatchee.
Ooh,
I'm leaning towards, there's a course in Shelton through Evergreen Rural Water, but it's not until October.
Hmm.
But it's not like we're in a hurry. No,
and hopefully by then, some of these other things will be off your plate. Where you actually have the time, because still, you're only one person, you can only do so much.
it's absolutely true.
You only got so many hats you can wear at one time.
And really, it's more about, having that license than it is anything else. You could also have people underneath you that have a lower level license. You can work underneath you, but you just can't take the actual tests.
Ah,
That-
okay.
Water sample, that's what I mean.
the water samples. Okay. All right, now the Allyn Waterfront Pier Emergency Repair. The marine floats evaluation.
So, yeah, my brief kind of lays it out there. I've got all the information I need to put together a good, bid packet. It's, there's some things that the commission will have to discuss. In a regular meeting. We discuss now, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, can't
Well-
take any action on the
Right.
compound observation deck is going to be a problem.
Well, I personally, after reading this, I think we should just remove it. But it depends on how we can use that mitigation. If it's gonna help the oyster house, then maybe,
No, it would only help the current project on the done.
okay,
Yeah, it could not be transferred to another project.
okay,
Yeah, I do know that. And you're looking at about 12 mitigation credits to remove it.
yeah. Maybe we should get some public comment. I mean, it hasn't been used in years,
Yeah, my suggestion.
years.
Oh, that's good.
Comment at the next regular
Yeah.
meeting. See what people care about it.
Whether they wanna see it or not.
I mean, right now, it's been stabilized to the point where it's not going to fall over unless the support that it's being stabilized against falls down.
Right,
And, those pilings are in really bad shape. There's a lot of things wrong
Yeah.
with the pilings underneath them.
yeah,
Now, the other option is if we do all the other repairs that we need to do, except that. And we left it there. And then went back and kept enough money aside to do
There would be no money inside.
demolition, not even the demolition of it,
No,
without doing it.
no, remember, you only have about $450-ish thousand to work with. That's not even enough to, do the float, the hand railings and take that thing out. That's not enough to do any of that, to do all of that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, we leave it there. But do everything else.
Can't do everything else. I mean, Okay, so the bent rows that are underneath the dock, there's 20, explained it in here. Okay, so the bent rows underneath the dock, there's 26 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and 23 of them need replacement.
Oh, ouch, okay,
And those are the structures that actually hold the dock up.
yeah,
That's non-negotiable.
Now, we know that the money that is available isn't going to replace all of this. Okay, there's like, they're too expensive to replace all of this. I mean, if you're gonna replace all of those rows underneath there, you're 900,000. Just to replace all the vents.
Do we need them all replaced, or can they now do?
No, you could replace some of them and that would help solidify the structure. Replacing the worst of the worst. Okay. But then you still have a float assembly that that wasn't replaced last time they replaced the floats up there,
mhm,
that is in dire need of. And there's also pilings that are incorporated into the new section of dock that need to be replaced because they have holes in them. So the thing is it's kind of a tricky maneuver to take all this information and go, okay, we need a scope of work that is targeting X, Y, and Z. And we know that C, we can't do all of it. We can only do some of it.
so we need to prioritize.
Correct.
So would just leaving it save us money in the short term?
Leaving the dock that looks like, the portion that looks like the observation deck.
Observation, yeah.
No. It would not save us in the short term. Because it could fall over. It could be a disaster if it fell over.
Well, that's it, but you said that right now it's,
If it loses the support that it is being propped up against, which is in bad shape. I
okay,
can't give you a, an evaluation of how long that's going to last. And neither can they. They can say it needs replacement or it needs to be removed.
okay, cause my thinking was we could go turn around and then go back to. You know, and ask for more money to finish the repairs and restore it,
That is if they will be giving us that money.
if they're willing to do it. We'd have to talk to our
Remember,
representatives. and
yes,
see if
the
they're-
money that was awarded for this was back in 22.
Yeah,
Well, everything's doubled like
Right.
normal. Slow movement of government, everything doubles and triples in price from the time we initially start to now. That and it's gotten, I'm sure, more pilings, you know,
at least my
more things
thought,
to church.
my long-term thought though, it hasn't been used in years, and I think we should just get rid of it, really.
So I will, when I put this bid packet together, I will be setting it up with a bid checklist
To,
of how much they are going to charge us for each item.
okay,
All right, that will be needed to be done, and then itemize those by, okay. So you're gonna charge us X amount of dollars for each bent to be replaced, you're gonna charge us X amount of dollars for each piling that's individual, not a bent. A bent is a row of pilings with the I-beam that are holding up the dock as you go down. Individual pilings in the sense where you've got the bump out or the observation deck. You know, we can ask for repair of that bump out to make it safe for the public to walk on. You can ask for a replacement of the bump out costs. Or we can ask for its removal and the mitigation that is earned from it. Because if we do repair the bump out, there's no mitigation from that.
Correct.
Other than the mitigation you get for pulling a piling out and putting the steel gun in. Which doesn't cover the cost of
mitigation.
mitigation.
Now, I guess my other, instead of, you said with the new pilings, are we gonna need as many pilings put in? Or I think
Okay,
we were talking about at
So
some
that
point.
is, so when you look at all those bents, you'll see that the bents have anywhere from 3 to 4, and a few of them have 5 pilings holding them up. Or some of them had 5 pilings and are down to 4.
Ooh.
Okay. Originally, that they were all just 3 piling beds. All right, so repair work had been done in the past, and the repair work that was done was literally an inch of concrete overlaid over the existing creosote piling. Which didn't really do much. Concrete got infiltrated, the water got behind it, and it popped the concrete off. So it was kind of like a capping Band-Aid to something that was already failed. So the idea is that if we get to a position where, say, we're able to afford, say, 8 beds to be replaced on the dock. Strategically put those by, spacing them out and getting the worst of the worst beds out of there, right? So you're only gonna be putting in 2 steel pilings for replacing either 3 or 4 actual creosote ones or concrete encapsulated ones. Which in turn will help be able, it should put us on a more level path for the mitigation.
Okay,
So, but we still, the idea would be that if that's done, where we've replaced, say, 8 rows of beds throughout the thing. Or throughout the length of the pier, and we're able to do the float out front and take care of the observation deck. In the end, there's no room for handrails. I mean, really. We'll need to address securing the hand railings maybe a different way. Because it would take a lot of money away from protecting the structure. Is what I've come to the realization.
the structure's gotten so bad that the hand railings are,
Well, the structure, yeah, I mean. The hand railing is moot if,
the whole thing underneath that falls apart, yeah. Yeah, but
So,
we need twice as much money to do it the right way.
so you replace those beds strategically, say you get 8 of them in place, then it puts you in a much stronger position to get money from other outside agency, federal, state, other types of, grant opportunities to finish replacing the other ones, because you've put into place a program that's gonna allow you to, show that you're getting rid of the creosote and you're putting yourself in a greater position to be able to fully replace the dock with environmentally safe materials. But
Okay.
really, I think it starts off with taking care of the creosote that's out there on the docks. You still have 8 pilings that are holding the main dock in place, that are creosote, and 2 of which have to be replaced. I mean, they just straight up have to. I can stick my fist inside the backside of one.
Okay,
And there are pilings literally down there on the water. And a long stretch of piling that you can stick your fist in at the beach level inside the actual piling. And these pilings are relatively 12, 14, 16-inch pilings at the most.
Okay,
So,
no driving a beat.
well, that kind of narrows it down, what we need to.
yeah.
What we need to do.
So, putting that together, putting that checklist, that bid sheet together so that they're actually bidding it out individually. And then having that overall amount so that when we were able to select the contractor to do so. We're able to select based on how much we can afford through all those basically piecework items. To put us in the greatest position to go forward.
So how close are you to getting that checklist?
I have not studied it.
Okay,
I've gathered the information, I brought this to the commission.
okay,
I just received it here last week.
oh, gotcha, great.
I know somewhere here you were saying that there's no historical value
So,
to the,
For the observation.
yeah, it's
The
an
observation.
observation, because I have not been able to find any proof that it was historically there.
Yeah.
Until the last time they rebuilt the dock.
okay, I thought when we were looking at those pictures last,
It doesn't show an observation deck there. There was something further out at the end, I believe.
what had a crane, that
It wasn't
crane,
an observation deck, it was a cover originally.
The crane that was sitting on there was not from pre-1980s. Yeah,
oh, that was the old dock then.
yeah, well, no, it's the same version of the dock that's there.
I have a feeling that that
Okay.
deck, that observation deck was put around in the eighties.
Yeah, we
Because even
determined,
when,
yeah.
when I got on board here, it wasn't in great shape anyway.
Yeah.
So it had to have been a while that it was there.
No, it was obviously part of the build when when the
The
new
decking.
dock was, the current dock was constructed in the early eighties.
Yeah. Okay,
And then when we look at old historical pictures of the dock before that, we do not see that structure.
right,
In fact,
Okay.
the old structure literally instead on the north end had a gangway that went down halfway down the dock.
mhm,
And there was floats down there where they actually pulled in
oysters, yeah. Yep,
which ended up getting beached all the time because tide goes out there much. Yeah,
okay,
All right, well, I guess it kind of solves that problem. All right, the Oyster House relocation.
I spoke with, Darren Corliss, who's willing to do the painting. And he's just waiting on weather. He'll probably try to wash the building this week, he hopes. And then, get going on the paint, but he's just been kind of waiting for consistent weather.
Yep, that's,
I got informed by Dan Orchard that they found someone to do the sheetrock.
Oh, okay.
And that they were gonna take delivery on the sheetrock here soon.
Oh, really?
Yep. And they're gonna tape texture in the whole 9 yards.
Wow. Okay,
that'll be nice.
Was that before or after it moves? The
Before.
tape texture.
It'd be
before,
before it gets moved. That's their plan.
And the flex won't mess that up?
well, you know what's interesting about that, because that's been a big concern too, but I have to tell you, when they moved that thing 2 miles away. There wasn't a window cracked. They did a really good job. If we get the same people, they do a great job. That was stable. Of course, it was full of concrete, so maybe that was why,
It's
but
also full of everything had been there for decades
yeah,
and had a chance to set itself in place.
yeah,
And when you create new, it's not as durable as it is when it's set itself in place. So I'm hopeful that we won't have any issues, but.
well, if not, then we'll go
We'll
back and
just,
fix it.
roll with it as we go.
Yeah, agreed. Okay,
All right, okay, port safety and security, pothole, told you already pretty much discussed that already.
Yeah. I mean, that's the yearly need is always there, so I think Commissioner Curtin, you know.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Staff and here,
Not a problem.
we'll just keep an eye on it, you know, hopefully we don't have to do another iteration of it before Allyn.
Not bad. Good. I had Kimber Rutledge help me as well, so.
great.
He was a friend of mine that came out and
Well, tell him, thank you.
put a lot of work into it, and did good jobs.
It's wonderful, thank you.
All right, let's do the 09 funds. So we have to reapply for,
Yeah, well, they created perhaps a new criteria that they would like to see everyone follow, so it's provided you the grant overview process.
right,
Sample that they've created for a new application, which is not entirely different than the old application. But the criteria putting the same relative steps in place for everybody is definitely needed.
Yeah, I have no questions on it.
Just wanted the commission to be aware, be able to read through it, informational purposes.
I guess my next only question is, when are you gonna be able to do it and get it done and sent in and? May 1st is
that'll
coming up.
That'll be dependent upon our partners and how they're able to put that together, but
Yeah.
it won't be approved by the Mason County Board of Commissioners before May 1st.
Well, yeah, it has to be in,
I understand what it says, but.
it says not turned in till May 1st, so, or May
so-
1st
so
to
they haven't
into
passed-
June.
They haven't passed the criteria. So they're looking at it in 2 weeks around May 11th.
Oh,
Okay.
so there's no point in turning it in and doing it until they actually approve the criteria then.
Right.
Correct.
Alright. Okay,
But one thing to note in their criteria is they have established eligible uses and ineligible uses. So.
Yeah.
Public facilities are eligible uses or public facilities that create, attract, expand, and retain businesses and jobs, infrastructure supporting workforce housing. And personnel in a county, port district, or ADO that facilitates job retention. Ineligible uses of private facilities, operating subsidies or maintenance costs, projects currently not on the sets list. It's fairly straightforward.
Thank you.
yep. Alright, now the Port of Allen and Port of Grapeview, joint project discussion, had you want?
So this kind of came about as just some discussions I had with the other Port Grapeview commissioners. About the fact that they have one of the few commercial facilities going up for sale in their district, which is just outside our borders. And just had a bit of a conversation with them. They brought it up in their meeting last Tuesday. And the paper reported on such as well. But, you know, the ports are in a position, especially the smaller ones, where we all know our struggles with financial income.
Hmm.
And, you know, having commercial or industrial leasing and, you know, rental opportunities is pretty key into creating long-term sustainable income that doesn't require the port to ask the community to pipe up for some more tax money. So I believe that the two commissions should be engaged in trying to solve these type of problems that we both equally have.
Yeah, cause they have no income, do they?
Yeah, well, I mean, the income of the Port of Grapeview is considerably less than the income of Port of Allen. Port of Allen does have the majority of the North End's revenue and population. You're also.
And ours is lacking, so that's.
Yeah, well, but the difference is that the Port of Grapeview has less than 3 cents per thousand in tax base, and Port of Allen has over 10. So we have 3 times the collection
Right,
on a larger population. So of course we have.
right,
How would this work out if it was a scenario?
You know, there's a lot of things that have to come into play. I mean, you would literally you would feasibility studies just to see if it actually worked. You know, there would be local agreements, and, you know, there would be things where, you know, the ports would have to, you know, put themselves in a position to succeed. But, you know, small ports like the Port of Grapeview, I think they're struggling to pay their insurance bills. You know, I mean, we have struggles, but technically through clever budgeting, we can solve those problems. Or we can let certain things go that don't need to be done year to year. They can't. Just to operate their bathrooms, they've got to borrow money from the county. Or not borrow money, they have to get 09 funds,
Mhm.
you know, or
To
some
operate.
form of, you know, fundage to be able to continue to facilitate the facilities. I mean, technically, we can tighten our belts and make it. But they cannot. And there are many ports that are gonna continue to run into this as the inflation grows. And they're not able to ask their constituents for more money.
Personally, I think this project, you know, I mean, it's always good to try to talk about things like this, but. Again, one of our concerns is tidying up what we've got.
Right.
So I would rather focus on that, because this kind of project would take a lot of time
Oh, boy, certainly.
and money, you know, just the feasibility study, that's expensive, but. You know, being the realtor and understanding at least a little bit, a smidgen of what it takes to do that, you know, it could be it's a big project. And you know, as well as I do, we'd have to go for grants to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
So
oh, yeah,
there's a whole new time constraint, I mean, you know, time, energy, investment in that, but.
But we would be able to split grantage, right, to $2.2 million. each
You know-
port did half type of thing,
No,
That's just,
I don't know. It depends on their ability to go
Sure.
for grants too.
right?
And really with their revenue, I think it'd be more difficult. A lot of times the grants are some kind of match. Or, you have to do some investment as well. Cause, I was looking into, not, I'm not a grant writer by any means, but, we were looking into some kind of grants for something up in the industrial area. I mean, that's why nothing's happened, because it's gonna take a grant to do that.
Right,
And so we had to make sure that the criteria would fit, and number one, then you have to have some match. That means you have to have some money in your pocket,
right.
so it's not easy. I'm not trying to say it's doable,
Sure.
but at this point in time for us, I don't think it'd be wise to do that.
It is, well, part of our, we're getting a lot of pushback to do something just like this.
Sure. Well, agreed.
So I think it's worth investigating,
I think it's worth hearing numbers, right?
hearing numbers, looking into it, and, my whole thing is, if you don't try, the answer is always gonna be no. You don't ask, the answer is always gonna be no. So,
I'd love to see the numbers on what we could potentially make. Both ports, but obviously mainly our port. But I agree, it's gonna take all the time we don't have from these two.
Yeah,
especially when we're having,
well, it
a
sounds like,
hundred public records requests in a year,
Sure, yeah.
It's just destroys
This is
their
the
time.
one resource we can't print is time, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing numbers though. See how it would work out. Or if, how much of a match we'd have to do. To a grant, if that's what we did get, and what the other port would be willing or could or able to get. But industrial part is part of one of our plans, right?
sure, yeah,
Cause the other thing that we were talking about was over the, doing something over by the, I guess the gravel pit over by North Shore. There's an area there that there's some land that we might be able to get. and
Yeah,
do
that's true.
something
The
with.
difference between that and this though is that this already has facilities.
Right, yeah, this
It's
is,
got 33,000 a month coming. in.
Right, already.
it's
You know,
already
it's
got
triple
income.
that.
What's the
which is
mortgage
good.
on that, but and now what's even with that income already coming in, plus it has the second parcel, which
Right.
it, as stated here, it's water the drain field, but
Yeah,
more development.
Yeah.
well, potential, that's. true.
Well, and I was
That's supposed to
figuring,
be
a
rezoning.
30-year loan
Yeah,
without interest, it. Be a whole lot less than 33,000. I mean, with interest, you're figuring,
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
well, obviously more, but, but yeah, who knows?
I might remind the commissioner. A 30-year loan on a facility like that would not be a wise decision.
agreed.
No.
It would have fallen apart and in most of the,
yeah,
the facility would literally be, needing replacement at that.
Yeah, to a 15.
And you know,
Can.
And it's pretty
precisely
old.
what just occurred here is literally the intent by bringing this up.
mm-hmm,
Especially with myself going out to the port of Greatview and spurring the discussion. Because the ports need to start talking to each other about these problems. So that we can actually find solutions with our legislators, with our state and federal representatives. Because ports are going to continue to have these struggles if they don't become addressed real shortly.
mm-hmm,
And we are the only. Like, we're not the only established, but we are the main purposeful economic development engine in Mason County. Because we only have one city.
yeah, that's
The
true,
rest of the
Just
county has no
UGA.
cities.
right,
Just
that's correct,
UGAs.
yeah,
And the Port of Allyn has more UGAs in it than any other entity in the county.
yeah, that's true.
Travis, when is the Port of Greatview's meetings?
It's the third Thursday or Tuesday at 7 PM. It's a little bit of a late meeting, and it's typically at the Benson Hall in Greatview. Where the old Greatview store was. And then usually every quarter, once or 4 times a year, they'll have it at the Mason Benson Community Hall. You can always find out, they say so on their website, sure.
The other thing is, we need to look at, okay. Those facilities have, like you said, have been there for a while.
Yeah,
What are they actually worth? What are they, they're about ready to fall down on.
And the numbers that I've provided you are just the assessed values, not the numbers that,
and
the
appraisal.
owner and the broker had discussed with me, which I wouldn't bother to discuss at this point because they are yet to provide me with the additional information I asked them, so. They've got my email address, we had a conversation, if they can provide me that information, I can provide it to you, otherwise, like I said, it's about having the conversation. There's going to be other opportunities out there. But this could evolve. It could evolve into something.
They said, if we don't ask, we don't, don't try,
My-
nothing's gonna happen.
My biggest fear is that you're looking at very old infrastructure.
Sure.
There's quite a bit of power available there. So there's a lot of uses that the property could be used for.
Do they have
That's
three
good.
phase?
Yeah, they got to.
Okay,
But
well, that's valuable.
the other issue is that, you've got. Its septic facilities are very old. And the property around it, the zoning would have to be changed to be able to supply more to the area. And then you're backed up against, DNR land, one set chunk, and then there's some private land
Guess what,
in the other direction.
Right.
Jeff was saying, I bet.
It's kind of a unique property.
Yeah,
But you can always property can always be
I feel like
rezoned.
even rough numbers will tell us whether this is something that we should even attempt to chase.
Yeah, I understand, and that's, I'm waiting for that information from them, I haven't received it yet, so. If I do, I will make sure the commission is aware of it, and, they can, tell me whether they wanna continue to discuss it, but like I said. The commission, I would hope, can see the merit in speaking with our other ports and talking about joint operations, because we can't do it alone anymore. That's for sure.
Yep. Should always work together. Okay, now it's the Sweetwater Creek project. Discussion.
Okay, so, we, received word from Emily Randall's office that, we've, been selected as one of their, projects to be funded for fiscal year 2027 in their community project funding appropriation process.
Oh,
So that is going through the appropriations process right now at the federal level. And along with two other projects, one was for housing development on tribal lands with the Squaxin Nation. And the other is for an upgrade, a much needed upgrade to the 911 system in Mason County. So we were selected as one of the three Mason County projects to receive funding.
thank you.
Oh, that's good. Now
Now, there's no guarantee that we're going to receive the funding. But we are in a position where all 15 of their previous projects last year were included in the final runs of funding bills last year. So hopefully their selection process is very targeted so that they don't disappoint anybody.
mhm.
So they've been clear that it's not a guarantee, but they've given us the track record of the previous year. And there's a hope that it'll work out.
now the money they're trying to get to do this, is that to actually, just talked about the
So-
parking lot, so will that actually put asphalt in the
Yeah,
parking lot?
so I believe that the entire scope of that is the bathrooms, the asphalt, and the utility infrastructure underneath.
Okay, cause once we asphalt that ground, then that eliminates the,
And it's encapsulated.
it's being encapsulated and we don't have to worry about anything contaminated, cause that's the only part of it's contaminated is your.
I've heard wording about that, I can't speak to it completely now, but that's what I've heard, correct?
You say in the gravel lot, there is a super fund, is that, or just?
But we also do have the,
Mildly, actually contaminated, but it was a,
we're also part of the targeted brownfield assessment program with the EPA to put together the plan for the full cleanup of the project, of the grounds too.
Yeah, and but the only ground that's actually. Quote unquote, potentially contaminated is
Is
the,
the ground in the parking?
is the parking lot. Not the actual park site itself, so. It's important to
Yeah.
emphasize, I think, that part of it. So that would be. That would be awesome. Somebody brought to my attention the idea of potentially changing the name of Allyn Park.
I heard about that today as well, when I made a phone call to somebody, so,
I figured it's a
suppose-
workshop, so it's more of a place.
Yeah, but we stick to the agenda on the workshop, so.
That's
So,
true.
but that should probably wait till, we've had a regular meeting to put it on the agenda.
I heard that too.
Should all people
Yeah,
think about it, cause that's something that needs, even if we're gonna think about it, that needs to be. Considered for everybody to put their input into it and how they feel about it and that type of thing, so.
I don't have anything else on Sweetwater myself.
I have a
I've got
question.
one thing to add that, this week was gonna be a challenging week for me.
I thought every week's a challenging week, but yeah.
Well, for my court time, I'm gonna have to, my hours, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are going to be a little fluctuating. I don't have any daycare coverage for the kid. So. And I'm in the middle of moving my business, so there's a lot going on there. So, I won't be in full hours, for the port on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
And if I'm able to put in more work, which I should be able to do, it might be late in the evening, like sometimes. Drive by and my car's still here at 8:30 because, well.
But I realize if you're gone the rest of the time, then it's like, okay, you gotta do what you gotta do to
Just
get
part
your
of
hours
that
in.
flexible 40-hour work week, you have me on contract.
Yes, that's what, I just don't want you putting in 60 hours a week. And 80 hours a week and burning yourself out.
No, it's not.
Yeah. We don't wanna burn them out.
Yeah, it's the burnout part, we
I
don't,
guarantee you that it doesn't hit 60.
well, and that's where it becomes a concern, because.
Yeah. I mean, if I did 60 on a week that I'm at a conference with those. Technically, I mean, you're there for 12 hours,
Well, yeah,
to kind of knock off, I mean,
I'm talking about, yeah, the service stuff
I appreciate it.
What day is the school board meeting?
Today,
tonight.
Oh, tonight?
Yep, tonight, 6:30, so yeah.
Okay.
Also, part of that Sweetwater bit, Mindy Harlow and I will be presenting to the Mason County, or the North Mason School Board.
Mhm.
Information about this, we want to,
About what?
information about school.
In general, okay. Are they showing any concern about anything, or
Or,
just you're offering up?
no,
information?
no,
You're just giving them information so they know what's going on.
yeah, and then we're also talking about, future plans of the project, so.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, cause that used to be, when you were a kid, that was that property, that stream and stuff was used by the school.
And there is a quorum notice posted, so any commissioners welcome to attend.
Okay,
Yeah, I gotta check with the boss at home, see what's going on first.
The school board meeting starts at 6:30, it sounds like. Sounds like it wouldn't be, it'd be closer to 7 or 7:15 when, our presentation is posted.
do they hold it in the old admin, I mean, down below?
Then the
right in the
new
middle of the
admin building,
Oh, in the middle,
in
okay,
between the middle school and high school.
yep,
okay,
Yeah, they have a big old, that's where the
Hey, what used to
superintendent's
be the-
office.
What used to be the annex before they redid the high school.
yeah, it's the annex building,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one that is, that's
If you-
Well, the middle school's here, the high school's up here, and the administrative buildings right here.
You can't miss
The
it.
old administration building's down here.
Okay,
that looks
now I
like,
know.
Yeah,
looks like a
Okay.
rack.
Okay,
And then the community center over there. All right, is there anything else?
I have nothing.
nope.
Yeah, all right. We're adjourned.